Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-8, it's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Lakeville, and it's under the command of Angelina75, and it's her latest submission in the contest between herself and talon1958 to win the weekend Lion. Game on! Well, Angelina's armed with the 152mm howitzer, capable of doing 550 alpha and penetrating 39, is it 39? I have to use my glasses. 38mm of armour, and with a 19.65 second reload by the book, but Angelina's got it down to 15.92. Yes, the SU-8 is now basically the same as the M44 used to be, except it has less armor, less ammunition. Okay, she spotted her first target, and it turns out to be another SU-8. In fact, one of two Artys on the enemy team. Oh, she got him with one shot! Oh my god, that's a quick counter battery. Her first round yields a kill, and she's just spotted a Studzianki. It looks like she's going for a second kill. Rounds out. Well, it landed right where he was hiding, so I suspect he did feel that, and Angelina's changing position because she doesn't want to avoid, she wants to avoid the enemy doing the same thing to her, taking her out by watching where her tracer came from. So excellent start for Angelina. Oh, look at this, two targets together. We've got a T1 Heavy and an M10 RBFM, and Angelina, her teammate just fired a round at that M10. Oh, she's got him! So it's another kill for Angelina, 2 kills now. Just wiped out an M10 just like that with an accurate shot. Changing position, nicely done. It avoids all the problems of counter battery if you can fire without being taken out when you return. And you notice how she waited until she saw the kill before she moved. Well, she just got another hit on a T1 Heavy, and instead of moving forward, she's actually moved backwards after that one. And yes, the T1 Heavy was tracked. You can see the mark where the shell actually landed on the side of his vehicle. She's not fully dialed in, but she did fire, and she hits him again. This time 246 hit points of damage. Now she's changing position. You can see why she's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of that howitzer. She is very good at what she does, and she's determined to win this week's Lion. Remember, Talon's leading at the moment. He's got a 3rd class and a bruiser, and a slightly better win rate than Angelina's last game. So she has to get better than the 3rd class if she can. She should be able to do that because Angelina does get aces on a regular basis. Okay. Instead, she's changed her aim to go to the north, and that T1 Heavy's changed position. He's now hiding behind the rock. But Angelina should be able to put the shell into him. Rounds out. Well, she splashed him for 68 hit points, and she's off and changing position again. Now, the SU-8 was built on the, or was going to be built rather, on the hull of the T-28 Soviet medium tank, but because the T-28 stopped being mass-produced and was effectively discontinued, it wasn't possible for the Soviets to actually use it anymore. And so eventually, well, they just didn't go ahead and build the SU-8, which was a pity because it might have actually worked. They did try and fit the same sort of howitzer onto the KV-1S, and that's where they tried to get the S-51, but it just didn't work. Now, this hull would have been slightly weaker. She fires another one in. Oh, she's got another kill. That's 3. It would have been a lot weaker. The KV-1S was a heavy tank, but it was actually a weakened heavy tank because they'd taken some of the armor off. But the T-28 was even lighter. This Arty would have been weighing about 25 tons when fully loaded, or 24.5 to be precise. But it would have been a very, very effective Arty if it could move about that quickly. The question was, would it have been able to stand the recoil? I suppose the only way we'd know that is if they'd actually built one and put a recoil spade at the rear just see if it would actually transmit the recoil onto the ground. You can see all the lifting gear for lifting the shells up from the rear. And oh, look at this. She's got an M4A1 there. Now, she really hasn't got a sight on him, so she can't hit him. But this P43 Biz over on the city, well, he's face-hugging one of our teammates. No shot on the M4, but we're 3 up on the enemy at the moment. Most of the enemy tanks are actually on the Lake Road, and it might be a good idea for Angelina to change position and go to somewhere like A5 so she can shoot down the Lake Road and take out those enemy tanks. The M4A1's not cooperating, and whilst he's behind that rock, it's very difficult to get a shot on him. Okay, there's the VK3002M. Can't get a shot on him again because the mountain is in the way. They have killed one of the enemy tanks on the Lake Road, and they're now trying to get at the T-37. We've got a number of tanks in the town centre. If they spot that T-37, then he'll probably get sniped from the town. And the only other ones, of course, that are still holding out are the M4A1, who's behind here, an M44, and we haven't located him yet. Oh, we have now. He's over on the far side of the map. Now, we can lob a shell over there. Angelina's styling in as quickly as she can. She just fired, so is that guy trying to get into cover? No, it looks like he's going Rambo, and he's going to ram the enemy if he can. He'll get one last shot, and he does that, and he goes down. At least he went down fighting. Good player. Anyone who does that, goes down fighting, deserves respect. The T-37 has been seen, and he's actually now threatening our Hummel, who did move down the road. Oh, Angelina fires one in at the T-37, who's being hit repeatedly. The Hummel tries to ram him. Unfortunately, he can't turn around. He gets ammo-racked. But now it's up to Angelina to take out this T-37. She's loaded. And she hits him. A big hit. But she needs the motor now because that guy is still coming on. And she's got nobody to protect her here. Ideally, what she needs to do is try and get into a position where she can either shotgun him or ram him to death. She's got far more hit points than he has now. She's decided she's going to go up to the bottleneck and follow her teammates down to the south end of the map. The T-37's still not spotted. The SU-100 is chasing after him. But I suspect he's by our cap area now, and it looks like he is after Angelina. Okay, can't turn very easily with this one, but she can use the wall to turn. The M4A1 has come out from behind his hiding spot. And Angelina's gone Rambo as well. Now she's going for the enemy. Lines up. Oh, she missed him. Now ram him. That's all you've got left. And he goes down, which leaves the T-37. He's up the other end of the map. Angelina's safe. I think we have the KV-2 to thank for that, because he managed to get the round in that killed him. And that's it. The game's over. The T-37 has been killed. And Angelina is still alive and in the enemy cap area. That was an exciting end to the game, wasn't it? Because we didn't know where that one was going. She might have been chased by the T-37, or she might have actually been shot to death by the M4A1, but luckily the KV-2 was around. Angelina actually decided to fire prematurely. I think she could have left it a few more seconds. Even if she'd taken a hit, she would have got an accurate shot with her gun, and it probably would have taken that M4A1 out with one shot. She got a second-class tanker in that game, which means she's got the lead from Talon, as well as a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 10. And her win rate from that game, 2,793, which is Unicum standard. It's not Super Unicum, but it is Unicum standard. So she has got the lead, because if you remember, in the last game, the one that Talon played, he got a third-class Bruiser and 1,593. So now we know that Angelina has beaten that, and she's taken the lead for the moment, that is. And it was a really good game. So let's have a look at the rest of the details. Angelina managed to get 1,567 hit points of damage. And in fact, that was third place on the game. because the KV2 managed to pick up a high caliber and steel wall for 2,754, and of course he saved Angelina's life by killing the M4A1 with a lovely derp. And the second highest damage in the game turned out to be the P43 Biz on the enemy team, 1,640, followed by Angelina in third place with 1,567. So a good amount of damage done by Angelina. When it came to the highest number of kills, that went to the KV2 and the M10 RBFM. Both had 4 kills apiece. 3 kills went to Angelina in second place, you could say, because it's a joint first place there. Second place. And third place went to the Skoda T25 with 2 kills, the P43 Biz, the T37, and the BK3002M on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, Angelina's in fourth place because the KV2 got 1,079, the M10 RBFM 876, the Churchill 3 managed 785, and then we've got Angelina with 693, but she still beat every player on the enemy team on base XP, and very nicely done indeed. The T52, by the way, got a patrol duty in that game, even though he didn't survive. Anyway, so that's the tables. Let's have a look at detail. She fired 15 rounds. That's a decent amount of rounds, especially considering it's the SU-8, which has got a very good fire rate, matching that of the M44 as it used to be. 6 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but she did get 12 splash. 1,567 hit points of damage, and all of it at more than 300 meters. I honestly thought that when she hit that enemy SU-8 in the side that she would have penetrated him, but sadly no, it didn't actually penetrate him, but it did wipe him out. It overcame his armor, and there was no way he was going to get out of it, and it was completely, it splashed him to death. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 126 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. It's a pity she didn't get as much stun assist in this game. Her teammates weren't shooting at the tanks that she was hitting, because otherwise she would have actually ended up with an even higher mastery at the end of that game. Now, she did get a mission completion bonus and took away 98,839 credits profit and 2,079 XP as well. So she says, use that W key and forget, and you forgot the KV2. Well, she did forget the KV2, but she did use her W key to get away from that T37 after she managed to stop him in his tracks just for a brief moment. But the only thing she could have done with the T37 was ram him. And if she had rammed him, considering she was a medium tank, technically, in terms of the hull, and he was a light tank, he would have got a couple of shots at her, but I think she would have bettered him and she would have overwhelmed him. They both might have died in the process, but she would have killed the T37, I'm pretty sure of that. Anyway, that's the end of the results for that game. There is a second replay for you to have a look at. Yes, Talon sent in yet another replay, and we'll have a look at that one right now. Talon has elected to play the 212A, which is the Tier 9 Soviet SPG, and he's on the west spawn of Studzianki. Game on! Well, as you know, this is the Arty that was never built, designed to be built from the hull of a KV-222, which was one of the heavy tanks they did produce 2 prototypes of before they actually made the KV-3. They were testing out the T150 and the KV-222 as replacement heavy tanks for the KV-1, but they never went ahead and built any more because it was shortly after that that they started designing and making the IS series of tanks. Rounds out the Manticore. Oh, we felt that. 149, and he went down. He splashed the Manticore. The Manticore took several big hits just before our shell arrived. Now, he's got the 203mm big howitzer, yes, the B4, which is capable of 900 alpha, 52mm of penetration, and 37.39 seconds on the reload. And Talon's got a reload time, I think, of about below 40 seconds. 30.11, yes. Very nice. Going for the TL7. Rounds out. Oh! Hit him in the rear. He got him on his rear and tracked him in place. We haven't picked up any damage assist off that one, so maybe our guys weren't firing in that direction at that moment. Oh, he has picked up now. Oh, yes, a lot! 1052 from that one, so that was very valuable indeed. Now, if you're new to What Arty Noobs, you don't know the terms of the contest between Talon and Angelina75. It's whoever gets the best replay for the week. It's a competition that's held between Sunday morning and the next Sunday morning, and it's whoever gets the best artillery replay gets the weekend lie-in. They get to stay in on Sunday morning, and the other partner has to get up and look after their young son Remy, who loves to get up early and run around the house playing with his toys, switching all the lights on, and well, just being generally adorable. Yes, so yes, they do appreciate having a nice Sunday evening or Sunday morning lie-in. Okay, he's loaded, ready to go. There's a Cobra up next to the cops. He's probably in the cops by now, but we can't see him, so he's firing blind. That looked to be whereabouts the Cobra was, but not sure if he hit him. Now, the rules of the contest say that they must get the best level of mastery, and then if they're equal on mastery level, say they've both got a second-class tanker, then it must be by the number of medals achieved. So at the moment, Angelina's in the lead with a second class and a bruiser medal. That's all she's got, but she does have a very good win 8, 2,600. The win 8 is the deciding factor. Oh, he got a splash kill! He took out the Cobra. He only had 71 hit points left, but the shell landed near enough and within the blast radius of that big 203mm. Of course, the blast radius is actually quite big. It's 10.4 meters, so you could still be some distance away and take a hit that would actually knock you out. So yes, it's all worked out on the highest mastery you get. If you get an ace tanker, you win the contest outright there and then. So the first person to get an ace tanker wins. And if they don't get an ace tanker, then it's the highest mastery and then the highest number of medals after that. Now, both Talon and Angelina are incredibly competent Arty players. They normally get ace tankers and they get high win 8 scores. Of course, recently it's been a little difficult to get those sort of scores, mainly down to the fact that the teams haven't been that great. But they are well able to get an ace tanker on their own right. Rounds out. Okay, he was firing towards the bushes, hoping he might get the Bosch or the AMX-50B. That might have splashed them. It certainly might have dissuaded them from being up on those bushes. Now, we've got the cops at the top of the map at the moment. Char Future 4's gone up there, but he might spot some enemy tanks over on the far east side of the map soon. In fact, some enemy tanks have been spotted, and it's a K91PT, that's the premium tank destroyer. Rounds out. Well, that would have shook him up. And yes, an enemy tank has been spotted to the north. It's a Char Future 4. Now, you don't have a very big arc with this Arty, only 4 degrees either side of the center line, which means that even a slight movement of the vehicle is actually going to cause a reticule bloom. So then you have to dial in all over again. Well, he can't see that Char Future, so he's trying to get a shot now on the E100. Rounds out. And he does get him. 267. The Char Future 4 is making his way towards the cops. So I think now Talon's going to have to apply a little bit of pressure because, yeah, that Char Future 4 just got ours. And now we're trying to line up a shot on him. There he is. T-30 goes in and nukes him, obliterates him from the game, sends him back to the garage. But the T-30 is being focused on by the enemy Arty. Enemy Arty in this game is an M53, M55. Rounds out. Oh, he hit the wreck. He got a critical hit on the ST2 though. Nice twang as he hit the wreck. But sadly it doesn't count. You only get the stun and the critical hit. We're 3 up on the enemy, which still means there's a lot of enemy tanks out there to kill. Okay, he's lined up, ready to go. Changes his mind. Can't get a shot on the E-100. He could go all the way down to the south of the map. If he was to go right the way down to the south, he could probably pop shots at the E-100 from right down on the south. And that might be what he's thinking about doing. No, he's changed his mind. Okay, his target's going to be the Lion, who's holding out next to the railway line. He can land around behind that rock. Rounds out. Oh, very well aimed. Very well placed. I'd be surprised if that didn't splash the Lion. Again, notice how he's using his W key. Arty players do this. Yes, those players who are not Arty players, you know obviously that you might think that Arty stays in one position all the time. No, that's not true. That is a vicious lie told by tank players to make them think that Arty players stay still all the time. No, we don't. We move about as and when we need to. Sometimes it's a really good way of getting new angles on the enemy. Now, he's got that E-100 lined up in his sights, and he's trying to make the E-100 break the fall shot so it goes red. Oh, zipped over the top of him. If he can get that line to intersect the E-100, then he knows he's got a possible hit. Can't be guaranteed, but it's certainly a very useful tool. There's still 5 enemy tanks out there. A Foch, a Lion, an FV4005 somewhere. He hasn't been seen yet. Neither has the M53, M55 on the enemy team, and he has got to kill that guy. Okay, Talon's going to try and put pressure on that E-100 now, or E-100 I should say. That's the German, at least I hope that's the German pronunciation. I think it is, 100. 100. Okay, he's ready to go. There you go. Yes, he can kill him. He can get him. This guy doesn't know it, but he is actually in grave danger now. Rounds out. Well, 295. The next shot will more than likely kill him. And he does go down. And in fact, actually, he's wiped out by the Object 140 down in the, up in the north, rather. Okay, so there's now only 3 enemies left. The M53, M55, the Lion, and the Heshbon. Now, we think that the Lion's behind this rock. The enemy Arty is... Oh, there's the Heshbon. Okay, we're dialing in on him instead because he's got very low armor on the turret. Rounds out. And he gets him. And that means now the enemy Arty might be right up in the corner of the map in grid square A0 in those trees. No, he's actually south of the railway line. I was wrong. But he's been spotted. He's out the game, and it's now just the Lion who's definitely behind that rock. We didn't see him move from that position. There has been a tank watching that area. He's going to fire. He's going to wait. He's going to wait for the our tank to move up and spot him. Rounds out. Yes! Kill shot! 3 kills for talon1958 in the 212A. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for talon1958 in the 212A. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he managed to get 10. And he got a Confederate medal as well for getting more hits on more enemies than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And his win rate from that battle, 2,293, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, in this one, the highest damage was done by the Viz 55 with 4,244 hit points. It was a tier 10 game. Second highest damage went to the T30 with 3,582, and the third highest was the Type 5 Heavy, who managed 3,175 hit points of damage. Talon managed to get 2,090 hit points of damage, and he beat all but 3 on the enemy team, which means that he's in 6th place on his own team. 3 members of the other team were ahead of him. It puts him in 9th place on damage. Anyway, when it comes to kills, it's a different matter. Yes, he's top on kills with the M46 pattern and the E100 on the enemy team. All had 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the K91 PT on their team. And when it came to base XP, Talon got that one as well. So he's got 2 out of 3 on the top of the column. 1,034 went to Talon. 980 went to the M46 pattern. 948 went to the Wizzy 111 QL. And he was the only one who got over 1,000 base in the game. He fired 14 rounds, decent amount of ammunition expended, 5 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot and 10 splash, damage of 2,090 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I'm interested to know which one he actually penetrated in this game, and I'm just going to see if I can work out which one. Yes, it was the Hesh Barn. Yes, I said thin armor on the turret, and he actually went straight through the turret with that last shot that killed him off. So, getting back to the detail. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3, so there's the Confederate, and 2,160 hit points of stun assist of 8 stuns. Yes, his teammates were hitting the tanks that he was stunning, and even if some of those shots actually came in a little late after he actually fired the round in, that TL7, for instance, he got a lot of damage very, very late after the stun. He earned a profit of 67,788 credits from that game, and he also got 3,102 experience points as well. But what he's most pleased about, actually, is now that's the way to shoot those stun tanks. What he's most pleased about is that he's actually taken the lead away from Angelina. Yes, Angelina played this game on the 21st of June, or June 21st, I should say, in America. So she took the lead on that day. And then, yep, same day, but was it later? It was about an hour later. Talon played his game, which was just yesterday, actually, yesterday evening. And he played his game, and now he's in the lead with a first-class bruiser and a Confederate. So really, the only way that Angelina's going to beat Talon now is either to get a first-class bruiser and a Confederate, or maybe another medal on top of that, or to get a first-class bruiser and Confederate and a better win 8, or alternatively to get an ace tanker. If she can get an ace tanker, she wins the contest outright, and she does so want that weekend lion. Because remember, last week it was Talon that won, and so Angelina wants one for herself this weekend. So I expect she's going to be playing a few games in between now and Sunday morning. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.